Hey gang, welcome back to Creatures, Caverns, and Crafting. Today I'm excited to show off a great purchase I made on eBay. You're looking at over 100 vintage muscle action figures. Each one of these less than 45 cents a piece. In my very first episode, I highlighted the use of these figures for Mutant Crawl Classic games. Mutant Crawl Classics does offer their own miniatures. They're perfect, they're great. However, I like using these because 1, they're cheaper, 2, there's more sculpts, and 3, we can really customize these to our own playing standards. So we're going to go to the table today. I'm going to do some crafting techniques. I'm going to show you how to make some weapons, some armor, and we'll see what we come up with. I think it's going to be fun. Here's a close-up of the sculpts. I got very few duplicates in this haul. I'm already getting great creative ideas. I see plantants, mutants, manimals, pure strain humans, and the coolest thing about this is some of it's just going to be paintwork. Guys, these figures are very dirty, so in the effort to avoid contracting any type of crusty eye, I'm going to wash them in some hot water with some Dawn soap, gently scrub them, then I'll rinse them with some cool water and allow them to dry. To make some simple weapons, I'm going to use some simple materials. Here's some plastic skewers I'll be using for spears. Here is a matchstick that I carved down for a club. And if you have bits left over from other model kits, you can use that as well, like this axe. Nothing quite screams post-apocalypse than street signs for shields. So what I've done is gather some images off of Google. I'll resize these using MS Paint. I'll go ahead and print these in full color. And then I'll take the printed copy to the table. I'm going to use my knife to cut these out. Be safe when you're doing this. And just to add a little bit more support, I'm going to go get some cardboard. I'm going to grab a used brush here. Dab some Elmer glue. And just kind of put this generally onto the cardboard like so. We want to cover the entire area that the printed version is going to go on. And the cardboard is just going to give it a little bit more strength. It's not going to be flimsy. We can kind of maybe even apply some paint to it if we need to. Here's the street sign. We're just going to dab it in like so. And I highly recommend using Elmer's glue for this. If you use anything else like super glue or hot glue, you're not going to get the results. You're not going to be able to maneuver it like I am right now. There we go. And we're just going to cut that out using some scissors. As another option, you can use some corrugated paper and cut this out. It'll come out looking like sheet metal. Also, if you have bits left over, I actually have a plastic shield and nothing really beats that. So use those model leftovers if you have them. So here's the shield once I've put everything together on it. I used a couple other materials. First of all, I used some granny grating here for the top, and for the bolts here on the side, I used some gemstones. And again, I fastened all this together with some super glue, allowed it to dry, and then I just primed it that yellow color that you're seeing there. Then I just went back with silver, highlighted that, and gave it a nice brown wash. Now I'll be taking the stop sign, and now I'll just glue it on there. We don't have to straighten it up. We can kind of cock it to the side, add a little bit more character, and our shield's good. To give a little weight and stability to the miniature, I'm just adding some E6000. I'll be taking a penny and putting this to the bottom of the base. Like so. These 28mm bases are great. They have perfect clearance for this. Also, I've E6000 the feet to the base and the weapons to the hands. I'm going to use some wall tack and just stick these minis down to a paint stirrer. This is going to make it easy when I go to paint them. Here's a picture of the minis after I've primed them. Notice I use various colors. Be creative. Have a little fun with this. These are mutants, so don't be afraid to try something new. A simple method to add a little character to the weapon is just adding some twine. Here I've super glued the twine onto the skewer we're using for a spear. I'm going to wrap that around, allow it to dry, and then in this picture I'm just adding some wash. I'm using a red wash. I would highly recommend you use a black or a brown. Aggress Earthshade would work really well for this. It'll actually make it look more aged. Then we'll allow that to dry, and we'll just take some scissors or a utility knife and just trim up the excess. So while we're on the subject of adding character to weapons, I recently purchased this 28mm barbed wire. The entire roll was about $10. I've used this on several projects, so it's well worth the money. You could use something like picture wire. However, I think the cost would be about the same, so I would just spare it and buy this. It looks a lot better. It's a great scale. All I'm doing is bending this around. I'm not using any glue. I'm actually going a little heavier on top. And then once I have it right here at the top, I'm going to cinch it just a tad bit, get it tight. And then I'm going to get a pair of scissors and just cut this. And what I'll do is the top and bottom parts that are left over, I'll just tuck those in. So if you've watched my channel before, I kind of go in detail about how I paint my figures, but maybe you don't have the time to do that. Maybe you want some characters quick on the table. Here, all I've done is prime, wash, and of course, glue them to the base. I put a penny there and I just trimmed out with a little bit of black, and he's ready to go on the table. Just for comparison, I'm going to put him here. I'm actually shaking the table here in a second. You can't hear it, but I want to show you the stability. And I'm going to show you another figure and do just a comparison. Look at the appearance difference. And also, you're going to see the stability whenever I go to shake the table again. Very minimum effort. We already have a figure on the table and we're ready to play. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in, and as always, I hope that you stay safe. If you like the video, give it a big thumbs up, subscribe, and follow. We'll continue to be pumping these videos out. I may take a break next week. I'm going on some vacation, but I'll be back, and I'll have some more Mutant Crawl Classic videos for you guys. Thanks.